Today, I'm building this brick barbecue. I'm not a brickie. In fact, I've never laid a brick in my life until today. But let me show you what you can do as a complete beginner with a bit of patience, some bricks and mortar. Here's what I'm starting with. Before I get laying, I need to remove the built-in bench and lay an extra row of patio slabs. I'm not going to show that in any detail because the chances of you needing to do this are pretty minimal. With the space clear and the new slabs down, I can set out the area for the barbecue. I'm laying the bricks out using a square to mark up the positions with some chalk. This just gives you an easy reference to start from. My patio has a fall both ways, so the first course of bricks is going to be a bit of a challenge compared to building on a flat concrete slab. I find the highest point and a proper brick up using some packers to create a 10mm mortar reference. And then I use that brick to set the height of the lowest brick in the opposite corner. For my first course, I'm actually using sharp sand because the bed is going to be a bit larger than normal. So I really wanted a strong first bedding layer. I do a 5:1 sand to cement mix and I use a paddle mixer to do this. You can also use a cement mixer if you have one, or you can mix by hand. Because I'm laying onto sandstone, which soaks up a lot of water, I first paint on an SBR slurry mix, which is SBR liquid and some cement mixed together. This is just to help bond the mortar to the slabs. Then I just need to add mortar until the first brick is level with the reference brick. Once that one's set, the rest can be referenced from it. Because I'm laying on a patio with a fall, I need to add something for drainage so the water doesn't pool in the barbecue. So I'm using some lengths of hose pipe to create a drainage gap in each of the enclosed areas. Then I can lay each of the rest of the bricks in the perimeter of the barbecue. This is the layout of my bricks. The central area for the barbecue and grills, and the other two side pieces will be work surfaces. So I just need to keep laying and checking brick by brick until I have the first course complete. It's worth spending far too long on this course because this is the one that makes the rest easier if you get it right. For this build, I'm using a brick barbecue hardware kit. I'll link to that down in the description, and it comes with a grill and a charcoal tray. It's worth checking the fit of this as you go to make sure that they're both fitting in. They're going to sit onto some turned bricks later on, as you can see here. For the main courses of brick, I'm using a 4:1 builder's sand to cement ratio. And I add some plasticiser to this mix, which just helps it become a bit more workable. Each course is pretty much rinse and repeat, laying each brick overlapping the two below to create a brick bond pattern. I'm laying the outer wall all tied together, and then the two internal parts, which the actual barbecue will sit on, will be tied in later, as you'll see. A brickie would lay these bricks in no time, but as a beginner like me, just go steady and check each brick with a small level to make sure they're straight and true, and constantly check with a larger level to make sure the overall footprint is level. Once you get to an end, you'll need to use a half brick every other course. And you can break these by either using a hammer and bolster or an angle grinder. And they're actually surprisingly easy to split. I did this barbecue over a few days, so every time I finished laying a few courses, I would leave the mortar to firm up and then could point up the bricks. I couldn't find my pointing tool anywhere, but you can actually use a bit of hose pipe for this, and you just want to press the mortar, compressing it and smoothing the joint. A decent bricklayer wouldn't have to add any mortar here, but if you're like me and a complete newcomer to bricklaying, you're probably going to have a few voids. So you can add some more mortar into the joint at this stage. It was also at this time when I removed the pieces of hose pipe from the bottom mortar, leaving nice drainage channels. Like I said, I chipped away at this over a couple of days, just taking my time and laying a few courses. You may have noticed the metal strap ties I used for holding the inner areas to the main section. You do get proper brick ties, but I forgot to get some, so I used this metal strapping which I had in the shed. This basically, as the name suggests, ties the bricks together. This is so that if the mortar joint splits or cracks on that edge, you've got something still holding the pieces together. On something that isn't really structural like this, you don't really have to worry about adding too many, but it's worth doing as a fail-safe. When I got to this level, I added in these 2 metal bars, which are going to be for a wooden shelf later. The reason I'm adding this is because I'm going to be building a bench into the side here, as you'll see on the final results, and this course is bench height. So I didn't really want the edge of the bench to then sit next to a gap. Other than that, I kept laying brick after brick until I got to the 9th course. This is where the charcoal tray is going to sit. The kit I bought comes with some metal tabs, but to be honest, I didn't think they would last more than a year or two, so I decided to use a common method of turning the brick through 90 degrees to create a ledge. These ones are a little bit trickier to lay since they aren't actually fully bedded, but once the course above goes on, they feel a lot more solid. The 11th course gets these same turned bricks, this time for the grill to sit on too. The outer side of these turned bricks will also have the paving slab sat on them to create 2 work surfaces. The inner bricks then continue up to create a higher central section, where finally the 13th course also gets turned bricks to allow for a higher grill position. This time though, I cut the bricks down so that the part visible from the outside was a flush surface rather than having bricks sticking out. With all of the top bricks laid, I could then point up that section, and you can clearly see on these top 3 courses I was getting a little bit neater at laying. Still a few voids to fill, but learning on the job. After pointing, I like to brush the mortar over, because I prefer a less neat, uniform look on brickwork, especially since this is next to original Victorian bricks. So thankfully my imperfect brickwork didn't stick out too badly. With all of the bricks laid and having dried for a couple of days, I could then add some slate paving slabs to the top sides, using some mortar and adding an SBR slurry to each slab. I designed my layout to fit the slab sizes that I had lying around the back of the workshop. You might notice here the random bond at this level. This is because I used the cut turned bricks here, and because the joints stagger, I didn't want them to join with the joint below. The slabs were added with a slight fall, just so rain drains off the back of the barbecue. To finish the top of the inner section, I cut a few strips of the paving slabs and I added these as a top cap. Then that was all finished, and after a good cleanup, after my messy laying, the barbecue was looking and working great. You can see that little wooden shelf I added to the right hand end, and the left hand gap is going to be used for leaving the grill and the tray during the summer, just to protect it from any rain. Then I'll stick these in the shed during the winter. Are the bricks perfect? No. But did I enjoy the process? Also no. But I'm really happy with the final result, and it works so well. If you're wondering about costs, all in it was about 200 quid for the bricks, mortar material and the barbecue kit, which I think is pretty decent. If you're a brickie, feel free to leave tips in the comments down below to help us beginners out. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.